Hey YouTube, Marko with Marko Custom Build Models coming to you today with a small update on the Freightliner cab over cement mixer. This truck is, you've seen it before in the build. If you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch the video on a little more in-depth detail on where it was before it got to this point. Where I'm at now, I just wanted to point out a few things sort of before it got to paint. One of them being the fenders and the fuel tanks. The fuel tanks are still not finished. I need to add a fuel filler on each side. That's no big deal. I still have to add a little bit of detail on the water tank. I did add that oil tank here from the last video. And the other side, same thing. And I did also put this together here. The last time I showed you this could still be taken apart. It was in two pieces, and I was able to paint the inside of it. So I pre-painted the inside of it before I glued it together, so it's not white plastic on the inside. Then when I put it together, I was able to clean up that seam in the middle of this barrel and just gave it a light coat of primer. So this is basically ready to shoot with paint. Do the colors on it, and same with the cab. Since there's three colors going on these two pieces, they're primed, ready to go. On the this part of the truck that holds the sort of the frame that holds the barrel and has the drive for it, I did add the oil tank here, which I just scratch built the tank out of some flat plastic. And then there's a cooler that normally goes somewhere else on the model, but I put it on the side of the tank, and this will be from the PTO on the transmission. It'll drive the pump and all of that, so that still has to be sort of, there's some plumbing I want to do here. Okay, there's not much more to show you on this. I still have to build a ladder for the side here that goes up to this part here, and there's going to be a bigger platform on this side with a maybe a rail or a grab handle. On the new trucks they have rails, but this truck is older, so back then they might have just had the ladder and a platform here, so that's basically happening here. So there's that. On the cab, I did detail up the grill. It slides in and out, no problem. I just wanted to show you what that would look like. I did glue on these Fender Flares. These Fender Flares are quarter round styrene that I glued on in a longer strip, and then once it dried in the middle, I curved it around and glued it on to make the flares to cover the tires. So that's done there on both sides. Alright, so there's that. And then the engine, I still have a couple things to do to it. But this brass pin is here so that when I put the tubes on, I can pre-drill, and then it has something to hold to and glue to so they don't fall off easily. I do have to put some caps on the valve covers and such. I still haven't really, I didn't like the ones in the kit, so I'm gonna make something else look a little better. I did add these little cutoffs off of something else, and they look like lifting lugs on the top of the engine, so I thought that was kind of neat. Other than that, it looks, I think, the same as last time in the last video. Alright, so this has to be painted. Once I get the caps on, I can paint that. And the chassis, of course, the fuel tanks, I did glue some straps on the outside here and made it so I sanded the tanks completely smooth, took off all the detail, and then just added my own straps to the tank brackets. And then the back suspension, I do have the air pods glued on, and the front, I started with the steering where it's got the steering box and the first steering link and the links that go from side to side. I still have to finish the other link going to the other to the rear axle. Still have that to do. So other than that, basically a couple little things, and then this will be painted. So the next update on this model should be paint and all finished. So I just wanted to show you sort of, well, you can still see some of the detail, what took place. Sometimes when you paint it, it all hides. So you can see when I get it back together here that these Fender Flares come out to the outside of the tire, and then also they're out the same width as the fenders. So that's sort of what the plan was there. These front fenders were the extra set. When I took 2 of these cement mixers, I used 2 of these trucks to get the front wheels. So it came with an extra set of fenders, which I was able to cut in half, and I was debating whether to use the square side on the back here or this part that sort of ramps down to match the rear ones, and I decided to go that way. And so there you go. So there's the update on the Freightliner cab over cement mixer, and just a quick little overview before it starts going into paint. And if you like these videos, please subscribe, hit the like button, ring that bell for notifications, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.